All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me. My name is Marnie Hernandez, and today we are doing Croatia. So there's, I guess, two major cities in Croatia, Dubrovnik, which we're going to do today, and then Split. So I don't know, we may be doing two today, depending on how long these courses are. But if you're brand new with us, thank you for joining us. And what we need you to do is you'll go into this TBO Academy, which is a training program that provides travel agents with different courses to help you to become a better travel agent. So we do these trainings together. You can do them on your own also. So just wanted to let you know, it's fun when we do it as a group. For one thing, some of them, like Celebrity. We just finished Celebrity last week. If you want to complete Celebrity Cruise Line right here in my YouTube under videos, you'll see, I think we have a Celebrity final certificate. So we did we did three courses for Celebrity. So we got part one, part two, and then the final. So you can catch up. We are starting Princess Cruise for next month. So Princess is where you get the free cruise. Okay. Here's the schedule for next month. We're doing Princess on Fridays. Saturday, we're doing Antigua, Aruba, Africa, and Algarve. Never even heard of that one. So again, we do these certificate workshops. First off, to become better travel agents, learn about destinations, learn about programs to help sell to our client. Second reason we do them is a lot of times we get amazing perks, free Disney passes, free cruises, discounts, free luggage. Sometimes people are in backpacks, so it's a lot of fun. It's a win-win for both us as an agent and then our clients because we're better at servicing them. So what happens is once we complete these courses, you will get a certificate. Okay, so let me see my profile, see if I can pull up some like past ones. So once you finish it, then it's going to pull up and show you can post that certificate on social media, letting people know, hey, look at me, I'm a specialist now in Peru. We just did Peru last Saturday. We're doing Turkey tomorrow. And it helps us, tells, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to go to Peru. Let me check that out. Let me contact you for that. Okay. So again, if you missed it, you can catch it here in my YouTube. I'll share this with you. Or if, like you say, if you have somebody going to Peru and you don't know anything about it, you can click here, type in Peru or Brazil or whatever, and then you'll find the different trainings that we had and you can watch them. We also have this Facebook page where all my certificates are, like this one we posted at the beginning of the month, and it has the links. Now, Princess, you do have to fill out your supplier request form if you haven't done that yet, okay? So if you want to get your free cruise, guys, I went to Hawaii for 15 days. $220 is all I paid. So definitely make sure you do that. These other ones, so this one's hold on, let me go ahead and there we go. Okay. So it has the link on OTT is here. TBO Academy, Travel Agent Academy. These are all different programs that we use for these certificates. And I kind of thought it would be kind of fun. So this month we're doing the A's. Next month we're doing the B's. Next month we're doing the C's, just to throw it off a little, add a little, fun stuff. So, because I had a lot of people say, let's do Aruba, Amsterdam, Africa, and Croatia. So I'm like, okay. So we're doing it that way. But I just wanted to show you also on this certificate workshop, I'll go ahead and share, I'll share the link with you here. Share, copy link. So this is where I post all my trainings. This is where it's open to you guys to just go in and ask questions, share, like here, Kathy shared her certificate. we post the certificates, I post, stuff about ADP, etc. Okay. So you can use this, but right here under featured, besides having our certificate workshops there, right here is a spreadsheet where I've done all these trainings. It has the dates. This is my YouTube. This is the link for it, okay? Down here, so these are like all destinations and stuff. Then you have the cruises and hotels down here, and then attractions and entertainment. So you can just do a search. You want to learn about the back roads. You want to learn about profit agility, special needs. All those are in here for you. Okay. All right. So welcome, welcome. So right now, hopefully everybody has registered for TBO Academy. If you have not, when you register, this one's a little finicky. Okay. Some people say they won't let me in. But when you register, anytime you register for our vendors, Archer Travel is always the agency. Okay, agency name, Archer Travel. Okay, maybe it's not letting me edit profile. There we go. All right, right here, it's your information, your phone number, your address. Okay, how do we acquire the certificate? No, the certificate you're going to do with us. So like today, we're doing Croatia. So you're going to get that certificate at the end. So what you want to do is you want to do this training with us now. Okay. So what I usually do is have you follow along like on your phone, but do the test and stuff online because you don't want to sit here with us for an hour or whatever and then have to go back and redo it to get your certificate. You want to do it with us now. And we always make sure everybody passes the test. So don't worry about that. Or it's getting a little warm in here. Okay. The other trainings. Yeah. So on the other trainings, no. So on the other trainings where you can go here. So let's just say you want to do Disney. I am going to restart Disney too, though. You can click here and just go into the Disney travel agent site. Okay. Right here. And you can do that training. But what happens is you're going to get in, you're going to sign in, you're going to do the training, and you're going to get stuck on maybe some questions because Disney's kind of difficult in some aspects. I know my son, when he was doing it, he kept having trouble with the different cabin types and stuff. He's like, we threw our computer, we couldn't do it. Can I get your YouTube? And then they were able to look and see because we did it as a group, and then he was able to answer the questions and pass it. So you'll want to do this alone, or I mean, I'm not alone, but we'll be doing it when we get to the D's, probably. I don't know. So anyway, but you can do these. So on this certificate thing, the link for the trainings is here. These are just my YouTube to be able to catch up, okay, or to follow up in case you can't figure out a question or something. But Google's your best friend also. So does that make sense? So today we're in TBO Academy. You're going to register. Again, Archer Travel is the agency. You are the agent. Okay. So just remember that even though you brand yourself, guys, you do want to, we do work under Archer's, licensing and everything. So Archer is the agency. Now, put this information here, Archer, supply your credentials. Save this in your phone, on your computer, wherever, because you're going to need it a lot, especially the IATA number, okay? Over here, the cruise line. Anytime you're registering or calling a cruise line, you're going to use this phone number. Because if you give them the office, which is the 1511, they're going to say your agency is not with us. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right. So right now we're on TBO Academy. Let me know that everybody's registered. Again, it's kind of finicky when you go to sign in. Sometimes, Google name, your email, just try it either way, okay? When you're just registering, it may say you got to wait for your email. Usually it's right away, but usually you can get back in once you register. You usually don't have to wait for that email. So again, want to make sure everybody is registered. Also in the chat, put it to everybody because in case I'm reading or we're watching a video or something, we want to make sure your questions are answered. But
Hey,
as
Marnie,
uh-huh.
can you put the link for the certifications in the chat? Because for some reason, when I cleared my cookies and caches, even though I saved it,
Uh-huh.
it completely disappeared.
Oh no. Okay, so there's the TBO Academy. And then the one we're doing today is Dubrovnik. Let's try next spell. Let's do the
No, not the link for TBO. I have the link for that. I was talking
oh,
about the certificate guide.
oh, this one here. This one?
Yes, I need
Okay,
that.
perfect. And again, in case you'll forget or something, it's right here under featured under our certificate workshop. So
Okay, under featured.
yep, under it. So we tagged it to the top. Okay. So let's try it again. Is it DE Dubrovnik? There I thought grab the link. Okay, let me grab the link up here. Bum, bum, bum. All right, discussion. And here. So yeah, so what happened, guys, is we actually finished Celebrity last week. So congratulations to those that completed it with me. And here we are. Dubrovnik. Sorry, I was spelling it wrong. Okay. All right, so make sure everybody's in and registered. There we go. All right. Also make sure your name is up here. Okay. And then let me know when everybody's ready. Thank you for joining me. I do these every Friday and Saturday. So appreciate you guys coming on board. Tomorrow we're doing Turkey. We're learning about Turkey. So if you want to learn about that, Peru was pretty interesting last week. And it's just a fun little thing. Because after I watched Peru, I'm like, okay, I told my kids, that's on my bucket list. We got to go. So, okay. All right. So once you get here, it's a Dubrovnik expert. And before we even get started, I'm telling you, I apologize for any mispronunciation. So you can yell at me if you want or correct me. I'm okay with that. But some of these places, it's like, what? How do I pronounce that one? So in the words of famous playwright Nobel laureate George Bernard Shaw, those who seek paradise on earth should come to Dubrovnik. Okay. All right, we're going to start the course in just a moment. It shows it's expert 50 to 60 minutes. English, pass the quiz to complete your course. Would love to visit. Do you offer fam trips? That's another thing. A lot of times we get familiarization trips, meaning they will invite you out to experience firsthand what your clients will experience. So watch for those. Love the beauty of the training. It was packed and good information. Interesting city, very informative and detailed. A lot of them are history lessons. You know, they go through the history and then things to do, places to stay. The familiarization trips, if you haven't done New Orleans, guys, get in and do New Orleans. You can find it on my list. They're doing a fam trip for the summer and the winter. So I'm hoping some of us can get together for the winter one and go out there to New Orleans. We went last year. Amazing deals on activities, restaurants, hotels. One of the restaurants, three of us went, spent maybe the food was maybe $130, $140. We only paid like $35. You each of us got a cocktail, appetizer, a main course, and a dessert. And because again, then you eat and you're like, oh my God, this is so amazing. And then you post on social media, guys, you have to go to this restaurant. So it's a lot of fun, okay? Being an agent and being able to travel and see and experience things and then share it. All right, so we're going to click start the course. So again, it's going to probably pop up and make you sign in again, possibly. Do, 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 do. All right, and my favorite agent here that lives here in Vegas with me, Linda, I'm going to make you co-host because I was just on a presentation and my mouse gave up. So just in case something goes on, I gave Linda co-host. All right. So again, if you're just registering and stuff, don't worry. Okay, we will wait for you till we get to the test and stuff. Melissa, are you good? Did you get signed in okay? So again, if you guys have any questions, need assistance, just put it in the chat box. I'm on it now. Perfect. Okay. So in the meantime, if you're still registering, don't worry, because as you see, we have a lot to go through till we get to the test. So just listen. Up here, instead of taking snapshots, you can click all slides. You'll want to go in to your profile or the itinerary here, and then you'll want to save that, okay? And then that way it'll save it to your profile. So that way you can save just the pictures, you can save the whole thing. So it pops up like this. You have to make sure your name's up here though. So in this case, these are ones that I've saved in the past or whatever. So you'll want to, hold on, let me go back. Maybe because I haven't started yet. Add to itinerary. And maybe because I haven't started yet. So let's see. But usually once you get there, then it'll pop over there and then you click add or save. Okay. All right. So Dubrovnik, an introduction. In the words of famous playwright, Nobel laureate George Bernard Shaw, those who seek paradise on earth should come to Dubrovnik. Founded in the 7th century, Dubrovnik is one of the world's most magnificent walled cities with a historic, remarkable, well-preserved, charming old town overlooking the stunning vistas of calm blue Adriatic. Recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, the pedestrian-only old town with paved limestone streets packed with elegant palazzi grand buildings display the Baroque splendor on the Adriatic. Add to this picturesque landscape of surrounding exotic islands, divine beaches, great options for spending a dreamy day out exploring, doing exciting water-based activities, sailing, or simply relaxing. Avail photo opportunities that are second to none, savor phenomenal food and wine and a buzzing nightlife, and discover why Dubrovnik is the proud feather in Croatia's tourist cap and also its most upmarket tourism destination, drawing hundreds of thousands of visitors annually, including royalty and personalities from the world of glamour, such as Michael Douglas, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Richard Gere, Tom Cruise, Beyonce Knowles, Naomi Campbell, Sir Roger Moore, Bill Gates, Caroline of Monaco, Paul Getty, Roman Abramovich, King Harald, and Queen Sonja of Norway, to name a few. All right, you have from Ragusa to Dubrovnik. The city was founded in the 7th century on a rocky outcrop by refugees from Epidaurium and was named Laos by its inhabitants, which mean rock in the ancient Greek. Later, over centuries, its name was changed to Raus, Ragusium, and it was from the 10th century till early years of the 19th century known as the Republic of Ragusa. The first recorded use of the name Dubrovnik was in the 12th century and was used more frequently by the late 16th century. Rising high above the old town is Mount Cert, and it had a dense oak forest called Dubrava, which means oak woods, and the people connected the name to the settlement. Another version of how it got its name is when the city was attacked by the Ottomans and the Turks called Dobro Venedit, meaning good Venice, as the local population was less hostile to them than Venetians, and in time the city became known as Dubrovnik. All right, history lesson, right? The heck, there you have a quiz on the introduction. Okay. Geographical location is located on the Adriatic Sea coast in extreme south of Croatia in Dalmatia region, occupying a promontory positioned at the end of Isthmus of Dubrovnik, jutting into the sea under the bare limestone mass of Mount Cert. Its climate, Dubrovnik is blessed with warm, sunny Mediterranean climate and enjoys over 300 days of sunshine in a year. Summers are warm, winters are mild to cool, and often rainy. On an average, Dubrovnik has 114 days of rainfall per year, and the average minimum temperatures vary between 25 degrees Celsius in July and August and go down to 6 degrees Celsius in January and February. When to visit. Dubrovnik can be enjoyed around the year. However, the best period for the visit is from April to September, okay? Lots of times when they put that, that's usually a test question. So let's just go in and see if this is just an introductory Dubrovnik expert. So, yep, okay. All right, how many days of sunshine? 300, right? The old town of Dubrovnik is a UNESCO, and your questions may be out of order, okay? The old town of Dubrovnik is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, true or false? I think they said true, right? The word Dubrovnik has been derived from the word Dubrava, which translates English into Oakwoods, was it? Yes. What's the best time of year to visit? April to September. What destination Croatia is known as the Pearl of the Adriatic? Dubrovnik. And long list of celebrities. Famous Bond movie. Roger Moore, right? Did everybody got those? Anybody have any questions? You're all,
Those are all correct.
awful quiet. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right. So let's hit submit. And this is kind of like what the test is at the end, but once you hit submit, you get a certificate. I don't know if you get one at this time. So let's see. Do, 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 do. Yay, 6 out of 6. All right. So these are some other ones that pertain to like Split is the other city, but I thought this one would be better. Okay. So now Traveler Essentials is where we're headed.
Mine's still scrolling.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's a really finicky one, so.
Hello.
Come on, there we go. All right, and then it took me back to the main plane. I'm gonna go ahead and okay. So you should hopefully be here. No worries. Again, we'll let you know on the test. So real easy to sign in, and then just I would get completely out and then go back in and sign in. You should be okay. Again, when you go here, add to the itinerary. And let me click. But there it goes. Okay, so there it pops up. So you're going to name this Dubrovnik. Okay, and you're going to hit save. And now that's going to save all those slides for you if that's what you want. You can do all the slides or just that slide. Okay. All right. So KPC, just keep trying and you know, we'll wait for you for the last test. But just listen. Oh, they have a little quiz on each one. Okay. I do not like this program because as you see, it just keeps popping me all over the place. Okay. Okay. So, Traveler Essentials. All right, so arriving and departing from Dubrovnik. You have the Dubrovnik Airport, also known as Selipi Airport, serves as the international airport of the city and is located 15.5 kilometers from the city center. The airport is a major destination for leisure flights during the summer holiday season. Today, this airport boasts one of the most modern passenger terminals in the country. It consists of one terminal consisting of an arrival and departure hall featuring check-in area, security lanes, departure lounge, premier lounge, food outlets, and 16 boarding gates. The airport has a capacity to handle 3.5 million passengers per annum, and the airport also offers parking options ranging from premium to low cost. You have getting around Dubrovnik. So you have public transportation, airport shuttle bus service flies from airport with bus bays situated in front of the terminal building at regular intervals of the city, calling along the way at Pile bus stop at Old Town near city walls, Ferryport, and Dubrovnik bus station at Gruz Superb 7 days a week, all year round. You have a taxi service available round the clock and can be availed in front of airports' main entrances and is a convenient form of transport from airport to the city and vice versa. Private taxi transfers can also be booked online, pre-arrival, or on arrival at the airport, from small to premium vehicles. In the city, to avail taxi services can be booked online through City Airport Taxi, welcome pickups, Dubrovnik Airport Taxi.com, TaxiLeader.net, Uber can be booked through the mobile app upon arrival at Dubrovnik Airport. Limousines, visitors who like to move around and depart in style in Dubrovnik can avail chauffeur-driven luxury vehicles from small executive class vehicle to premium limos, which can be booked through DubrovnikLuxuryTravel.com, DotTransfers.com, and DubrovnikChauffeurService.com. Self-drive car rentals can be pre-booked online or on arrival at the airport or while staying in the city. Visitors should be 21 years of age. They will need to show passport, national ID, valid international driving, should be at least a year old, and a license and a credit card, which is in their name. And for visitors who have pre-booked online, they will need to provide proof of booking as in voucher or confirmation number at the car rental counter. Car rentals include compulsory fire and third-party liability insurance, while collision damage waiver and coverage and theft coverage costs extra, but it is recommended to take it. At pickup of the car, the rental company will ask for pre-authorization on the visitor's credit card. Deposit is refundable back to the credit card after deducting the rental price, and no damage has occurred on the vehicle upon return of the rented vehicle. Visitors must also ensure that the fuel tank is filled up before returning the vehicle. Self-drive car rentals can be booked through prominent companies like Alamo, Six Rent-A-Car, Hertz, Auto Europe, AVAX, Rent-A-Car, Hertz, Green Motion, they have that in there twice, and Rent-A-Car, and with other local companies. So if I was them, I wouldn't rent a car. All right. Croatia country code 385, prefix before dialing the contact number in Croatia from anywhere in the world. Languages, Croatian is the spoken official language, but English and German are also spoken. Excuse me. All right, currency is the Croatian kuna, HRK. That could be a test question. All right, connectivity solutions. Visitors can buy a SIM card and Wi-Fi fixed bundles at T. Hrvatski, Telecom, A1 Croatia, and Telemak Croatia and BombBomb. Electricity, voltage, and power plug. It is the 230 volt, 550 hertz type C and F plugs. And then the time zone is UTC +2. All right. Travel essentials. So Dubrovnik travel cards, ideal for visitors who are looking to travel and explore the attractions of Dubrovnik and suburbs on a budget and avail public transport and discounts in select galleries, shops, and restaurants. There are 3 types of Dubrovnik travel cards that visitors can purchase and avail a slew of benefits. Day card, valid for 24 hours from activation. You get free entrance to 6 museums, 2 galleries, and the city walls and public transport in Dubrovnik. So that's nice. You have a 3-day card, valid 72 hours from activation. You get free entrance to the 6 museums, the 2 galleries, the city walls, the museum in Kavdat, and 6 free rides on public transportation throughout Dubrovnik with 2 coupons for suburban bus rides to Kavdat. 7-day card, valid for the stated duration from activation. Free entrance, 6 museums, 2 galleries, city walls, 1 museum in Kavdat. They will get a bus card, which will allow visitors 10 rides through Dubrovnik city and 4 coupons on suburban bus rides to Kavdat. Other benefits include discounts offered on entrance tickets to other museums and monuments, discounts on Dubrovnik Summer Festival, discounts on dining in restaurants, shopping and jewelry shops. Visitors along with this card get a brochure of Dubrovnik and a map of the city and surrounding area. And then children up to 7 years go free on public transport when accompanied with an adult. All right, second test. So again, this is not usual. We usually have the test at the end, but this one's doing it per session. So, all right, how many types of travel cards can visitors choose? 3 types, I think, right? Because it's a 7-day, 1-day, and a 3-day or something. Dubrovnik Airport is the international airport. Can visitor book a limo transfer? Come on, guys, it's with the interaction. Which plug? Was it the CNF?
Yes.
21 years of age. Everybody agree? Yes, yes.
Wait, I don't know. What was I looking at just now? I got kicked out already twice. I've been catching up.
Okay, no worries.
So the visitor transfer you can get, right? A transfer? I missed that.
Where is
A
that
limo
at?
transfer? At
Yes,
the
I think they
Dubrovnik
do the limo
airport.
transfer. Yeah.
Okay. And then it is true that the airport's called
City.
Kilby.
Yeah, whatever. Calippi, whatever.
Kilby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Melissa, try clicking on that link. That should take you into the training.
Those answers are all correct, guys, when you get a chance.
Okay,
Oh,
perfect.
cool.
Thank you,
I
Linda.
sent mine through.
And did anybody else get kicked out? Like I literally got kicked out twice and had to keep
I'm telling
restarting.
you, this program is, I don't
I
really
do
like
too.
this program, but they have so much training in it. So,
All
Melissa,
right,
did
it
you
was
get
weird.
in?
Maybe because we're all on it together.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I had problems too, but I'm in.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
really slow.
So Melissa, get caught up, go through the first, no, today we're doing, Croatia, Dubrovnik. Tomorrow we're doing Turkey. All right. So if you guys that are trying to get caught up, take a screenshot of this one. And then if you need help on the first test, we only taken 2 so far. Just let us know when you get to that. It was pretty easy. Just put in the chat, what is this? What is that? And they'll answer for you. And I'll continue to read. But in the meantime, did everybody get a picture of this one? This is correct for the second
Yeah.
test. Okay. Takara, you're good. Melissa? Okay, I'm going to go ahead. Okay. All right. 5 out of 5. So we're doing really good. Next, we're going to talk about the lens of history. So again, it's like going back to school. So see, if I take it back. Okay, there we go. All right. So the Eastern Adriatic region had since Roman times a borderland. Dubrovnik's history commences with the 7th century onslaught of the barbarians, Slavs and Avar, that wiped out the Roman city of Epidaurus. The remaining inhabitants fled to the rocky islet and formed a settlement known as Los, separated from the mainland by a narrow channel. This inaccessible settlement was located around the southern walls of present-day Dubrovnik. Though through Semitic shifts, the settlement would become variously known as Rasa, Ragusa, and Raguslium. From the outset, the city was protected by defensive walls, and the borderland status of the settlement was a determining factor in its history. Dubrovnik has skillfully exploited this status by making itself and the region around it a decompression chamber between cultures and civilization, religions and empires and opposing kingdoms, ideologies, and the proof of it is that it has been part of a Mediterranean cultural constellation, yet intimately connected by the Balkans, Catholic, yet surrounded by Islamic and Orthodox neighbors. An independent merchant republic for 700 years, Dubrovnik over centuries underwent many changes of hands and was loosely governed and influenced by Byzantine Empire, Venice, Hungary, Ottoman Empire, France, Austrian Habsburg Empire, and then Yugoslavia until its breakup in 1991, and it remains a part of Croatia today. Modern day Dubrovnik is a beacon of history, culture, and art. All right, the timeline. So the settlement of loss of, and this one probably is going to be a test question. So if somebody wants to take a picture of those dates, I don't know how they expect us to remember these, but sometimes they said, when did they become, the patriot or whatever? And it's like, oh, 1972. Okay. So this 614, the settlement of Los and today's Dubrovnik was established by refugees from Epidaurus on a rocky islet, while the Slavs established their settlement at the foot of Mount Cert. 8th to 16th century city wall complex, 1940 meter long and up to 40 meters high, was built over a period of 800 years. 972, Saint Blaise became, and maybe they highlight it because that's a question, but Saint Blaise became the patron saint of Dubrovnik. That was in 972. His image was impressed on seals and coins and carved in stone. On the 3rd February each year, the patron saint's day is celebrated in Dubrovnik. 1022, first written document of Dubrovnik's origin. The Benedictine monks received the island of Lokrum as a gift from the city authorities. 1038, Fort Lavjanik was constructed, and it bears the famous inscription, "Liberty cannot be sold for all the gold of the world." 1161, famous Arab geographer Al-Idrisri mentioned in his book that Dubrovnik was the last town of Croatia. 1319, Minstata Tower was built. 1337, the Mint of Dubrovnik, located in old customs building, commenced minting its own currency, Perpara, and it's continued till 1803. 1347, the first hospital in Dubrovnik, Domus Christi, was built. 1368, the Church of Patron Saint of Dubrovnik, Saint Blaise, was built. 1377, Dubrovnik was one of the first ports in Europe to introduce quarantine for ships and its passengers at the outlying islands. 1397, construction of the first ever clock tower in the city began. And then 1416, Dubrovnik authorities abolished the slave trading. And then it's probably going to go on more. Yep. Okay, this was the one that I did not like. But anyway. 1420, first pharmacy was founded in Dubrovnik, which is also the world's oldest and still functioning. Wow, that's cool. 1435, first public school in Dubrovnik opened. 1438, water supply was introduced and 2 fountains, the big and small Onofrios, were completed in 6 years by the year 1444. 1461, construction of, hold on one sec, sorry. Oops. Hi there, I'm on a training. Can I call you back?
Yeah.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Water supply. Construction of the fortress in 1461, Mencenta commenced, and it was completed in 1465. 1506, Ivan Raboljanin forged the town's bell, which hangs in Dubrovnik's bell tower till today. 1526, Dubrovnik recognized the authority of the Ottoman Empire, and it remained under his protection for the next 282 years until 1808. 1806, Dubrovnik was accompanied by the forces of Napoleon Bonaparte, and in 1808, Dubrovnik Republic was abolished and placed under French rule. 1859, the Pusik Palace was the first hotel to open in Dubrovnik. Again, they may be highlighting these so we have questions on them. It was built in 18th century as a private residence before it was converted to a hotel. 1897, the first modern hotel in Dubrovnik, Grand Imperial, opened, and it is now known as the Hilton Imperial Dubrovnik. 1913, first luxury property hotel, Excelsior, opened. It has hosted dignitaries like Queen Elizabeth II, Hollywood actress Elizabeth Taylor, and many more. 1918, although the name Dubrovnik was in use since the Middle Ages, it was officially adopted as a city name after the end of the First World War and fall of Austro-Hungarian Empire. 1932, built as a private residence in the 19th century, the property was converted in 1932 into a hotel known as Hotel Zagreb. 1939, charming seaside resort Villa Ursula opened up. 1972, luxury property Dubrovnik Palace opened. 1991, in the Croatian War of Independence, Dubrovnik was besieged and bombed by Yugoslav, Serbian, and Montenegrin forces that significantly damaged the UNESCO-recognized Old Town and claimed many lives. Due to a series of political upheavals and conflicts, Yugoslavia as a country broke up eventually. 1990s to early 2000s, post the lifting of siege by erstwhile Yugoslav forces, Dubrovnik underwent restoration and repair work, and it has once again claimed its place as top tourist destination in the Mediterranean. 2008, 16th century Renaissance stone villa was converted to and opened up as a small luxury property known as Hotel Hazbek. 2017, 1.2 million tourists visited Dubrovnik. 2019, 1.4 million tourists visited, and in 2020, due to COVID pandemic, the tourist arrivals came down drastically. Only 178,000 tourists visited the city. And then, hold on, next. Do you see how it keeps going back? Okay. All right, was that it on that one? Make sure. Yes. Okay, perfect. All right. So now know your Dubrovnik better. All right, so Dubrovnik is like a pearl set in the turquoise of Adriatic, and for centuries has been a magnet attracting kings, writers, poets, artists, traders, and now visitors from all over the world. Below, TPO Academy shares some interesting insights on this outstanding, beautiful, fascinating destination. So these may be ways to help help you to sell the product, right? The patron saint of Dubrovnik is Saint Blaise, whose statues can be seen around the city, and one of the larger churches in the city is named after him. Every year on the 3rd of February, the feast of Saint Blaise is celebrated with mass parades and festivals. Legend has it that Richard the Lionheart, returning from the Third Crusade in 1192, was caught in a fierce sea storm, and while praying for his life being spared to God, promised to build a magnificent church if he survived. He and his crew were shipwrecked off the coast of Dubrovnik at Lokrum Island. He kept the promise, and as a result was a beautiful church built in the 12th century in what is now the Old Town, and it is known as Cathedral of Assumption of the Virgin Mary, or Dubrovnik Cathedral. Very popular tourist attraction today. So that's kind of interesting, huh? Historic UNESCO World Heritage listed Old Town of Dubrovnik and is an ancient fortress with large stone walls which helped keep the freedom for many centuries. The Old Town city walls are truly a wonder of Dubrovnik. They were primarily designed to protect the city from under attack and extend to 2 kilometers. These sturdy walls encircle the old city and in places are up to 6 meters thick, date back to Middle Ages, and are over 700 years old. The walls have witnessed natural disasters like earthquakes and survived. The walls are one amongst the 10 World Heritage Sites in Croatia recognized by UNESCO. In Middle Ages, when Dubrovnik was known as Republic of Ragusa, the city authorities decided to honor an ordinary but deserving son of the city, the sailor, Miho Praket, who left his entire fortune to the city to be used for good causes. A statue of him was raised in 1638, which stands still today in the atrium of the Rector's Palace, a major tourist attraction in Dubrovnik. Europe's longest operating pharmacy and one of the oldest in the world is located inside a Franciscan monastery founded in 1317. Today it functions as a modern pharmacy. However, it also offers a selection of herbal cosmetics and teas made from age-old formulas and recipes. And in 1416, more than 600 years ago, slavery was banned in the Republic of Ragusa, Dubrovnik, and the Republic condemned it as being against all humanity. In order to take care of the city's orphan children in 1432, city authorities decreed it, and in 1434 opened an orphanage in Dubrovnik in the heart of the old city, opposite the Franciscan monastery in Dominic Zaltaric Street, making it one of the first institutions of its kind in the world. The remnants of this can still be seen today, and keeping the sensitivity of the matter in mind of parents handing over their children to the orphanage. A small entrance space was created in front of the building of which the parents would place their child, and then by turning a wheel, the plate would then swing inside carrying the baby. Wow. All right. Porporella is a rocky breakwater area in the old town just behind the old city harbor, visited by thousands of tourists to admire the stunning views over the Adriatic, making it one of the most attractive sea breaks in the world. The Austro-Hungarian Empire, who called Dubrovnik in the 19th century, constructed a pier to protect the harbor from the strong southerly winds in 1873, and just 6 years later, a violent sea storm ripped up a huge stone weighing over 3,000 kilograms from the breakwater into the sea. To mark the unusual event and the day it was recovered and replaced back in the breakwater, visitors can view this large stone and check the arrow on it to see where it ended up. Yeah, I know, it was sad, huh? Dubrovnik lays claim to number of world firsts. So again, test question. One of the earliest medieval sewage systems installed in 1296, still in use today, and one of the world's first quarantine facilities was established in 1377. The old synagogue of Dubrovnik is located in the old town. It was established in 1352 and recognized in 1408, and is the second oldest synagogue in Europe. All right, and now know your Dubrovnik better. Dubrovnik, then Republic of Ragusa, was one of the first states to recognize the United States of America in 1783 when it gained independence from England. Dubrovnik has been making waves on the silver screen too. Visitors will recognize many scenes, including King's Landing, a popular hit HBO show Game of Thrones. It was filmed here. Game of Thrones fans visiting Dubrovnik can take a detailed tour to have insights of how the show was shot and specific locations of the filming. Dubrovnik was also filming location for Star Wars Episode 8, right? A Robin Hood Origins, produced by Leonardo DiCaprio, and the Bollywood movie Fan, starring megastar Shah Rukh Khan. Dubrovnik is home to one of the world's shortest rivers, the Umbla. An important source of drinking water for its residents. It is only 30 meters in length, and it empties into the Rijeka Dubrovnica Bay in the Adriatic Sea. Renowned best-selling British novelist and playwright Agatha Christie, dubbed as the Queen of Crime, spent a major part of her second honeymoon in Croatian cities, then Yugoslavia, including Dubrovnik, where besides loving the place, the couple had enormous fun, and the menus written in local language, as they did not know what they were ordering, and none of the restaurants ever wished them to pay the bill. Dubrovnik's insurance law is the oldest in Europe, being validated in 1395, some 300 years before Lloyd's of London. The shipbuilders of Dubrovnik were renowned by making strong, durable sea-going vessels, which were built in the old arsenal building in the old port area. To keep their shipbuilding secrets safe from foreign spies, the vaults would be sealed shut by bricks while they were being built. And once the process was completed, the wall was knocked down and the ship would set sail on the sea. Today, the Arsenal building is an atmospheric fine dining restaurant. Okay, when it came to diplomacy, Dubrovnik was ahead of the game. In the 15th century, Ottoman Empire was rising power, threatening European kingdoms. Dubrovnik, then the Republic of Ragusa, realized the threat after the fall of the Constantinople in 1453, and the Republic decided on a policy of neutrality, positioning itself both as a protege of Pope and also became a vassal to the Sultan, thus avoiding the brunt of the conflict and the ravages of the war on its people. And then Dubrovnik is a city of ornamental functional fountains. They not only add to the charm of the city, but also a source of drinkable water. For those visitors who love island hopping, from Dubrovnik is quick and easy sailing to Korčula, Lapud, Kolosep, Sipan, Mijet Islands. All a short boat ride away are laid back places from time forgot. Perfect for swimming or relaxing. And adding to this, for history buffs, famous traveler Marco Polo was born on the island of Korčula, and his birth house can be visited to this day. Suburbs of Dubrovnik are just as appealing and beautiful as its famous old town. Visitors also throng to Babin Kuk, Lapad, and Gruz to savor their attractions to Dubrovnik, as a destination does not end at the walls of the old town. In the Bay of Dubrovnik is the 180 acres wooded island of Lacrum, where, according to legend, Richard the Lionheart was cast ashore after being shipwrecked. Today, the island is a popular day out destination with visitors who come here to enjoy the botanical garden, naturalist, beach, monastery, and the fortress. Dubrovnik is one big view and one of the best places to take in the views in Buzibar, literally hole in the wall, which is what it is. For best views of the sea and Lokrum with drinks, this is the place to go. The old town of Dubrovnik is depicted at the reverse of Croatian 50 kuna banknotes issued in 1993 and 2002. All right, test time. What is the name of the first luxury hotel to open in Dubrovnik in 1913?
Grand Imperial.
Thank you. Which city of Croatia was the filming location of the Star Wars 8, Episode 8?
Dubrovnik. Yeah, right.
Who is considered the patron saint of Dubrovnik?
Saint Belize, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah. What is the name of the first hotel to open in Dubrovnik in 1859?
That one is Grand Imperial, and the first one is actually Excelsior for the luxury
Okay.
hotel.
Perfect.
Excelsior. Okay.
Which year did the charming seaside resort Villa Orsilla open?
I don't know. 41.
Did anybody take a picture?
I
I
didn't
thought it was
see that one.
1939, but I could be wrong.
Okay, what do you guys think? 39, 41?
I have no idea. Some like for whatever.
Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, Google's your best friend.
Wait, we could Google it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you guys just said that.
Good minds think alike, right?
Yeah, right. Okay. Let's see what Google says. When did Resort Villa Orsilla open in Croatia? $1939.
Thank you. All right, so we have Excelsior, Dubrovnik, St. Blaise, Grand Imperial, and 39. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, I got one wrong.
You got
So
what?
did I.
Which one was it, though, you got wrong? Do you know?
I don't know because it won't let me go back. Oh, wait, will it? I had to take the quiz again. Will it
Yeah,
let
I
me?
got one, too. But that's okay. We passed at least.
The quiz has been taken, won't let me. Okay.
Yeah. So one of those is wrong, but as long as you did what we did, at least you'll pass.
Got past with the 80, so hopefully.
Good job, guys. All right. Next. All right, Game of Thrones tour. How fun. Anybody see that?
That's pretty cool, though. I didn't know that. I knew about oh my God, that singing movie with Meryl Streep was filmed there.
Okay.
Rock of Ages, not Rock of Ages. Mamma Mia was filmed there.
Oh, it was there? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So Game of Thrones tour. This is one for buffs of the epic fantasy HBO TV series Game of Thrones. Dubrovnik, with its remarkable preserved old town, gleaming white stone city walls, sunny seaside location, exotic locales around it. It has been a prominent Game of Thrones filming location since its season 2 and a must visit for fans of the popular show. Recount the best bits of the show at the locations where filming of the series was done. Of warring armies, unruly dragons, cunning courtiers, Battle of Blackwater. Follow the footsteps of Daenerys Targaryen, where she desperately tried to enter the House of the Undying to rescue her stolen dragons. Bokar Fortress and Fortress La Regenic and the Pile Harbor represent the entrance and beaches of the King's Landing. Pile Gate entrance to Old Town, where King Joffrey got attacked by mobs. Groddock Park, located next to the Old Town, was the scene of the Purple Wedding Feast. The Jesuit Staircase doubles as the steps of Great Sept of Valor in King's Landing, and Cersei's infamous Walk of Shame in season 5. The Rector's Palace was featured in season 2, where Daenerys visits the Spice King's mansion to request ships to carry the army across the narrow sea, and many more other spots of great interest await the visitors. Dubrovnik city walls and fort walks. For visitors, the imposing Dubrovnik city walls that encircle its historic core, the Old Town, are undoubtedly the most spectacular site of this upmarket Dalmatian destination. Together with Old Town, this gigantic wall, one of the most beautiful and best preserved city walls of Europe from the Middle Ages, is on UNESCO World Heritage List and also Dubrovnik's defining feature. Highlights of Dubrovnik City Wall Walk. The walls were built from the 13th to 18th century, were consistently added to and strengthened, and this historical monument is one of the world's rarities by its construction dimensions and the architectural harmony of lines and proportions. The walls are 1940 meters long and reach a maximum height of 25 meters. They consist of the main wall, 3 forts, 6 bastions, 3 pre-walls with turrets, 2 corner forts, 16 towers, 3 moats, 2 barbicans, and 2 drawbridges, and a breakwater. The walk along approximately 2 kilometers long mighty Dubrovnik wall is very rewarding, as from the top, the view over Old Town and the calm blue Adriatic are sublime. Sounds beautiful, right? Cathedral, Dubrovnik Cathedral and Treasury. Located right next to Rector's Palace in the Old Town, also known as the Church of the Assumption, is a Roman Catholic cathedral and the city and the seat of the Diocese of Dubrovnik. Dates back to the 7th century, and several more were built on the same site, 10th, 11th, 12th centuries, the last of which was partially financed by the English king, Richard the Lionheart, as thanksgiving to God when he survived a shipwreck on the island of Lokrum near Dubrovnik. Later, the cathedral was destroyed in the earthquake in 1667, and this time it was constructed in Baroque style, and completed in 1713. Highlights of the cathedral. The portal of the facade is flanked by 4 Corinthian columns, and on top of the central part are the statues of saints. Cathedral is notable for fine altars, especially of St. John, made of violet marble, and to the left of the main altar is Cathedral's treasury, which contains gilded relics of St. Blaise, Dubrovnik's patron saint, and more 150 other reliquaries, whatever, many of them made by Dubrovnik's goldsmiths between 11th and 17th centuries, icon of Madonna and Child, relic of the True Cross, and much more. The tour of the treasury can be done by paying an additional fee. It has religious paintings done by Italian and Dalmatian masters, the most famous of which was done by Titan of the Assumption of the Virgin, which can be seen hanging behind the main altar. Rector's Palace, in an artful combination of Renaissance and Gothic and Baroque architecture influences, and one of the loveliest buildings located in the Old Town, initially built as a defense building in the early Middle Ages, which got destroyed in a fire in 1435. Later, the town authorities decided to build a palace, and it became the seat of the rector, the figurehead of the Republic from 14th century until 1808. Highlights of Rector's Palace. When Dubrovnik was an independent city-state and wealthy merchant republic, one of the most powerful positions in the city was that of the rector, and it is no surprise that the rector lived in a palace befitting his station and then functional as Rector's Palace. The building had rector's office, his private chambers, public halls, and also the seat of minor council, the state administration, and it also housed the armory, powder magazine, watch house, and a prison. Today, the palace has been turned into a cultural history museum where visitors can view and admire artfully restored rooms, coat of arms, portraits, and coins, which evoke the glorious history of Dubrovnik. Museum of Modern Art, located east of Old Town, is housed in a beautiful mansion built in Neo-Renaissance Gothic style in 1930s for Croatian shipping magnate Bozo Banat. The mansion was converted to a museum of modern art and opened in 1948. Highlights of the museum: spread over 3 floors, the museum has 9 exhibition rooms, large sculpture terrace looking out to the sea, and well-kept mansion grounds. Museum houses a valuable collection of over 2,000 artworks of modern art representing Southeast Europe. The collection includes paintings, graphics, sculptures, photographs, and art installations from the end of the 19th century to present day. Red History Museum. So located in the city's Gruz Industrial District is an old socialist factory. This museum offers a unique interactive experience which harks back to the bygone era, showcasing everyday life during the communist regime in the erstwhile Yugoslavia. Highlights of the museum: recommended as one of the 3 must-see museums and one of the first 10 places to visit in Dubrovnik by viewers on a TripAdvisor in 2019. So that may be something you want to share. Museum is divided into 3 parts: socialism in theory, socialism in practice, socialism in memory, which gives a detailed picture of layers of life under the communist regime. The museum holds about 1,000 communist Yugoslavia-era items received through donations, bought from flea markets and internet. Visitors can delve into art, design, politics, secret agencies, listen to the greatest hits of the era, and learn about real-life stories of people living under the watchful eye of the communist regime and witness history unfold. Kind of interesting. Love stories. Who doesn't love love stories? All right. Located right by Pile Gate, just outside the Old Town, is the world's first museum dedicated to love and romance. It collects and showcases unique personal love stories and items of great sentimental value from around the world. Highlights of the Love Story Museum: this unusual museum aims to tug at the heartstrings of visitors, and its exhibits focus on love songs, romantic stories from local history and legends, real-world love stories collected from around the globe, drama and romance of films, television shows filmed in Dubrovnik. All right, Homeland War Museum. So it's devoted to commemoration of the Croatian War for Independence in the 1990s. The museum is located inside the Napoleonic era Fort Imperial at the top of Mount Cert. Can be reached by a panoramic cable car ride. Was a strategic point during the 7-month-long siege of Dubrovnik by Yugoslav People's Army forces. By retaining control of the fort, the local defenders ensured that the city was not captured. Visitor reviews have dubbed this as a must-see museum with powerful moving exhibits. Highlights of Homeland War Museum, founded in 2016. The museum exhibits historical documents, war equipment, parts, weapons, explosives, art, and documentary photographs, troop flags, authentic recordings, video material that depicts how media outlets around the world covered the conflict and interviews with eyewitnesses, which offer an account of Homeland War in the Dubrovnik area. A permanent exhibit called the Dubrovnik Lin in the 1991-1995 Homeland War depicts the city's response to Serbian and Montenegrin forces in the early 1990s and the return of the displaced refugees. All right. Come on. All right, Maritime Museum. Throughout its history, the Dubrovnik Republic based its economic success mostly on seaborne trade. In the medieval period, due to its fleet of ships and the tonnage that these ships carried in Mediterranean to the Black Sea, Germany, Netherlands, England, and beyond, the Dubrovnik Republic was included in the leading navies of the maritime world at that time. The British used the word argosy as synonym for a merchant ship, and the word is supposed to have been derived from Ragusa, which was previously the Roman name of Dubrovnik. Highlight of the Maritime Museum. Dubrovnik Maritime Museum was founded in 1949 by the Croatian Academy of Science and Arts, and this small but well-presented museum is located inside the vaulted chambers for the first and second floors of the 14th century Fort St. John. It traces 1,000 years of history of navigation in Dubrovnik with exhibits showcasing more than 5,000 objects classified into 15 collections. The exhibits on the first floor give an overview of the development of maritime trade, shipbuilding from its very beginnings to the fall of Republic. Second floor showcases the resurgence of maritime trade in Dubrovnik from the 19th century up to World War II. All right. And War Photos Limited Museum, located in the old town of Dubrovnik, was opened in 1990, curated by renowned New Zealand photojournalist Wade Goddard. Museum deals with the theme of war and conflict that resonates deeply with the Croatian people. Highlights of the war photos. The mission of the museum is to present public with a view of the reality of war and how it inflicts intolerance, violence, and injustice on innocent people and the combatants alike. There is a permanent exhibition which extensively documents the Croatian-Serbian War of 1991 and the shelling of Dubrovnik before the breakup of Yugoslavia. An immensely powerful experience, these iconic but stark images taken by well-known photojournalists of the time strip away from the gloss of war and give a clear view of human conflict in modern times. The museum also hosts temporary exhibitions by international photographers on conflicts around the world. All right, Archaeological Museum, established just after Croatian independence in 1990, and is located within Fort Revelin. Museum covers a period of time stretching from Neolithic right up to the 17th century. Highlights of Archaeology Museum. The museum presents two exhibitions, one of the archaeological research of Fort and its foundry, and the other on early medieval sculpture and the architecture, with a special focus on ecclesiastical. As I said, I apologize. All right. Franciscan monastery. Is this where everybody's at? Did I miss anything?
No, I'm there.
Okay, good. All right. Located at the Placa next to the Holy Savior Church in the old town of Dubrovnik, it belongs to the order of Friars Minor. The complex was constructed in the mid-14th century, wherein additions were made over hundreds of years, and the complex consists of friary, church, historic pharmacy, and a library. The friary was built in 1360, contains two cloisters, the upper cloister built in Renaissance style and the lower cloister built in Romanesque Gothic style. Because of the diversity of the decorated motifs, the cloisters of the Friars Minor are considered to be the most interesting medieval monument left in Dubrovnik. Visitors can admire the remarkable Pieta sculpture of Virgin Mary holding the body of Christ, flanked by figures of Saint Jerome, Saint John the Baptist over the church doors, sculpted in 1498. The interior of the church is in Baroque style, and main altar is with the statue of the resurrected Christ was done in 1713. The decorations on altar of St. Francis were painted in 1888. The monastery library, built in 17th century, contains thousands of books and manuscripts on varied subjects in various languages, including Latin, Italian, and Croatian. The archives of monastery are arranged in two parts. The manuscript department has 3,000 works, including rare parchments from 10th and 11th centuries, and the music archives contain over 7,000 compositions. The library also contains an exhibition of liturgical artifacts, including 14th century head relic of Saint Ursula, a 15th century silver gilt cross, 18th century crucifix from Jerusalem, and paintings of old masters. Pharmacy, founded in 1317, one of the oldest still functioning pharmacies in Europe, and still manufactures and sells cosmetics made of homegrown local ingredients. Okay, now this is fun stuff, day trips. So day trip to Lokrum Island. So has swirled with legend and mystery since the legendary King Richard the Lionheart was cast ashore at this island after a shipwreck while returning from the Third Crusade in 1191. The name Lokrum is derived from the Latin word acrimum, which means sour fruit. Sour fruit. Oranges and lemons grow on the island even today. The beautiful, lush, and fertile Lokrum Island is a 15-minute boat ride from the old harbor of Dubrovnik. It's a pleasurable ride across crystal clear waters. The island is open to visitors from April to November, and ferry service commence at 10 a.m. and conclude in the evening at 17 hour, which would be 5 p.m. And it is not allowed to stay overnight on the island, and neither there are cars permitted on the island nor smoking. Okay, that's interesting. Highlights of the Lokrum Island: Benedictine Monastery, a predominant point of interest on Lokrum Island dating back to 11th century and functioned as one until 1808, after which the monks were forced to leave, whereupon they laid a curse on Lokrum, and it has not been inhabited since. A portion of the monastery has been converted to a museum, and a replica of the Iron Throne can be found in the monastery. Scenes of Game of Thrones depicted as City of Porth were filmed here. That's kind of interesting. Botanical gardens planted on orders of Archduke Maximilian Ferdinand of Habsburg in 19th century. Then owner of Lokrum, where he was building his summer residence, later was established as a botanical garden in 1959. It has 800 species of plants from various parts of the world, and also free roaming peacocks brought from Canary Islands, and rabbits, the only residing residents of the island. So how cool is that? The walk makes for a pleasant experience here. So you have rabbits and peacocks from roaming the free. Fort Royal, on the island's highest point, stands Fort Royal. Construction started in 1806 by French Army during Napoleon's occupation of Croatia and was completed by Austrians in 1835. Visitors, while exploring the fort, can admire panoramic views of the island and Dubrovnik from here. The Dead Sea Pool is a saltwater lake located on the southern part of the island, created by millions of years of tectonic disturbances, gradually widened by the karstification and erosional activity of the sea. The lake itself is believed to have been formed by the collapse of a large cavern. The lake is crystal clear, calm, and suitable for swimming, and popular with visitors. Other points of interest include Charlotte's Well, Cross of Triton. Rock climbers can try their hand at climbing the limestone and dolomite rock formations, do bird watching, and for those inclined, it has a nudist beach for sunbathing with clear marked signs. All right, Lafferty Islands. So Lafferty Islands is a small archipelago consisting of several islands, mostly uninhabited, situated just a short boat ride northwest of Dubrovnik. Popular with visitors is island hopping for a day or longer, which covers Kalasep, Lapud, and Sipam Islands. Highlights of the Alephidi Islands. Kalasep, once known for its shipbuilding prowess, is closest to Dubrovnik, has two main villages, Gornje Selo and Donje Selo, and is covered in centuries-old pine forests, olive groves, and orchids of orange and lemon trees. The island is car-free and is a tranquil place, great for exploring a leisurely pace. Interesting churches. Swimmers will be delighted with its crystal clear waters, exploring its coves, and relaxing on sandy beaches, ideal for a swim. Lapud, the middle island of Alephidi Trio, has a small idyllic village with a picturesque harbor and enchanting Franciscan monastery, small churches, botanical garden, and it is known for its velvety sandy beach. Soon increasingly popular with visitors, is favored by sun-hungry holiday makers. And then Sipan is the largest of the main Alephidi Islands, has two main villages on the island, Sipansky Luka and Sadarad. Was a favorite of Dubrovnik who built their summer aristocracy. It was built their summer residences here in the medieval times. Places of interest are this castle and the tower, St. Peter's Church, Church of the Holy Spirit, time permitting, hiking and cycling around this island and swimming on the beach. All right. And then Kavtat, located at the Adriatic Sea coast, 20 kilometers south of Dubrovnik, is one of the most beautiful places for a beach vacation in southern Dalmatian coast. And then set on a petite peninsula embraced with two harbors, has a picturesque old town with rector's palace, old residences, churches, and small museums, restaurants, cozy cafes, enchanting waterfront, lovely bars, fabulous beaches like Zal, Rad, and Oban. Ideal for island hopping, day trip from Dubrovnik, and for those wishing to stay longer for tranquil holidays. Choose Kavta, and make it their base for staying and sailing and exploring other islands around, and even visiting Dubrovnik. Kavta is easily accessible by surface transport, as well as taxi boat for visitors arriving from and to Dubrovnik. All right, we're almost done, guys. Let's take this quiz. On which outlying island of Dubrovnik can visitors see Benedictine Monastery, botanical gardens, port, and enjoy a swim in a natural Dead Sea pool? Is that Lokrum?
I don't even have that
I
question.
think that's Locum, the Dead Sea Pool, which is the lake.
Okay. Whoever said they don't have it, the question may be down here. They may be out of order. All right. The Red History Museum showcases research of positive influences of color red, everyday life. That one. The historic Dubrovnik city walls were built in which period? At the 13th to 18th?
I think I have 11th to 12th century.
11th
I
and
didn't even
12th?
see that question. Okay.
All right. Who partially financed the construction of Dubrovnik Cathedral as thanksgiving to God for sparing his life in the shipwreck off the island? Wasn't that Lionheart? Or was it Lionheart?
Yeah.
How many works of art are housed in the Museum of Modern Art?
I don't know that one. Is it over 2,000?
This one's kind of a hard one, huh? All right, KPC, make sure they're not out of order. I mean, you should be on. This is from the Exploring Outerline Islands, I think.
I followed along, and it's like two of the questions that you went over are not on my quiz at all.
Okay. All
Yeah, I
right.
have that too.
So we'll go through these and then we'll go through yours. Where is the Love Story Museum? All right, that's what I thought with the walls built. Let me see. When were the city walls built in Dubrovnik?
It's around that palace, right? The Rector's
13 to
Palace.
17. So yeah, it's the 13th to 18th century. How many works of art are there in the Dubrovnik Museum of Modern Art? We're cheating. Approximately 3,000.
So over 2,000.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. What
Did
was
we
the
have this
role
what
of rector in
yeah,
Dubrovnik?
in medieval times? Record keeper, probably of all ship entry.
Figurehead during the city's independence, the head of the republic,
So the administrator?
the record keeper, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's why I think it's the last one too. He's a figurehead though, that could be.
While holding the title, the position's primary main duties, sign documents, receiving guests, and representing government and officials. Symbolic leader. Signing
What is the
documents.
role of rector in Dubrovnik in medieval times?
Step Island is car free. I think that's
Executive power, the breakdown, governor and figurehead. Yeah, it's like
Can we put
custody of the keys, resident in the palace,
so maybe just put administrator?
public welfare, seat of governance.
Yeah, we'll just put administrator. What do you guys think?
Did not possess actual political power, but rather fulfilled a representation, administrative function.
Yeah, we'll just put
Yeah.
that because this says record keeper of
It
all.
says was the administrator, and it does say administrator function on
Okay.
internet.
Yes, over 2,000. What is the per way distance between Dubrovnik and Kavdet? Somebody can look that up if anybody knows.
That's going to
What
be
is the
about
per-way distance
20.
between Dubrovnik
It's gonna
and
be
I
what?
Kavdet?
looked it up and it said 18.8, so
Okay.
I guess 20 is the
Drive from
closest.
Banana Republic Factory Store.
What is that? What is the highlight of Maritime Museum drug?
Wait, what was the distance?
The thousand
20
years.
kilometers.
Thanks. Okay.
Susan, what did you
It
say?
highlights 1,000 years of history.
Okay. And the
Wrote
love
that
stories,
down.
where is that located?
It's just outside the
Pilegate.
first
Thank
one.
you.
Oh,
Okay, what
wait,
other
just
questions do you guys have that's not on here? Bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know.
In
Hopefully,
which year was the homeland? I guess it's saying in which year was the homeland something museum found?
homeland.
I think
Homeland
it's
Museum founded.
I think it's supposed to be War Museum, but they put was.
Yeah,
Yeah, and what year was the Homeland War
Was.
War
Museum founded?
Museum founded.
Year 2000, year 2010, or year 2016?
2016.
Thank you.
one of the oldest pharmacies in the world opened in 1317 and still functional is located where in Dubai?
The
In the
Franciscan
monastery.
Ministry.
In a monastery.
Franciscan Monastery. Okay.
The
Is there
historic.
an epic?
Okay. I think you had this one, but I missed it. The historic Dubrovnik, I can't pronounce it, city walls were built in which period? The 11th to 12th century or the 13th to 18th century?
13th to 18th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The HBO series Game of Thrones filmed.
Yeah.
Dubrovnik. True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the theme of the War Photos Limited? It deals with the theme of war and conflict and its impact on humans, or it showcases the most modern weaponry and its effectiveness in war.
I think it deals with the theme of war and conflict.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
the
thank
first
you.
one.
Yes. Hold on, my love. Hold on, baby. I know, I know. I know, my love.
Anybody else? Everybody got theirs?
My God, I hope I get an 80. Each one of these, I've gotten one wrong. I got 9 out of 10.
All right, let's see what we got. 10 out of 10. Woo woo.
I had different
Congratulations,
questions.
guys. All
Wow.
right, we have shopping, dining, and accommodations. And then hopefully you'll get your certificate. So yeah, this one's been a little long one, but interesting. Like I said,
It's a lot of history and information.
that's exactly that's what I
Yeah,
was gonna
those are
say, like a
expensive.
history lesson class. So sorry about
Yeah.
that. But
It's
now
good though. I mean, it seems like an incredible place to visit. I've been all over Europe, and there's a lot of cool things here. The
Yeah.
first pharmacy, I think that's really cool.
I know that's really cool. So now we'll get to the fun stuff. So all right, if my thing will open up.
Out of those 12 pages, that was my favorite thing. The pharmacy. So funny.
All right. Come on. There we go. All right. So best souvenirs to buy in Dubrovnik. Oh, great. So again, I'm not going to read all these only because it's just talking about, I would take a screenshot, chocolates, you're going to get the great chocolates, honey, bring home artisan honey, lavender. So if you want to take a screenshot and, this is something that you can like save different things on or whatever. I took a screenshot so if we could have a test question, but local artworks, Croatian cookbooks, delicacies. They have, candied orange peels, caramelized almonds, handmade jewelry. Okay. So if you guys want to, Croatia has over 2,000 years of winemaking. Cravats are a cross between a scarf and a necktie. So that may be a test question. And this tradition of it being manufactured and worn back to the 17th century, they can buy scarves, neckties, cravats, and shawls. All right, so let's go to the next. Okay, shopping.
I think that one that's going to be important, like that Croatian lace, since it's recognized by UNESCO, so it must be some very
Fancy.
unique,
fancy.
Yeah.
Here again, I'm not going to read because I can't do but Clara Stone's beautiful coral. So visitors bring back souvenirs from their travels, brings back good memories of the time spent and destination. Shopping in Dubrovnik is a journey of exploration, discovery, and delighting in treasures it offers. Visitors will find quaint little shops in and around the old town, as shopping once used to be before the advent of large shopping malls. Here we list some boutique stores with an overview of their offerings for visitors to explore in their own time and have a delightful shopping experience. So again, you can take a picture of this. You can share it. I don't know if you guys know, but when you take a picture from your phone and it's on a picture, you can copy it and paste it then in your social media or wherever. So again, has the different names of the different shops and then what they specialize in. So you can share that. And then other stores of note are Tara Croatia, offers souvenirs and Game of Thrones paraphernalia. Studio Epilica sells ceramics, jewelry, t-shirts, bags, other knickknacks. The Christmas shop, souvenirs, handmade or hand-painted over glass, embroidered ornaments, and nativity scene figures, and the House of Nature, organic Croatian cosmetics. All right. And then we already did the cookbook. No, we didn't do that. Best souvenirs. We do this one?
Yeah.
The cookbooks, right?
Should be 5.3. The food.
Okay, there we go.
There.
All right, so for the foodies out there, so Croatian cuisine is a melange of, and I don't know if that's right, various culinary influences shaped by an eventful history. Food along the Dalmatian coast and on the islands is based heavily on fresh fish, green vegetables, olive oil, fresh herbs, and seasonings, besides a variety of other meat, which makes it very Mediterranean. The food scene in Dubrovnik on the Dalmatian coast is a delightful mix of locally sourced ingredients, rich fusion of flavors and dishes, traditional and contemporary, which the visitors will find yummy. In this part of the course, we'll introduce you to the most popular must-have dishes of Croatian cuisine, followed by a curated list of go-to restaurants. So again, take a picture of what these are. The papar is a fish stew. You've got grilled fish, black risotto, bizarro, popular in Croatian fish stew, fresh oysters, capon, chicken, honey, and wild orange, zelena mezdastra, Croatian meat stew. So they have the strukli, delicious flaky pastry, cottage cheese, and sour cream. Pasticata gnocchi. This dish is queen of Dalmatian cuisine, prepared with beef fillet. The pekka, meat, vegetables, spices, Mediterranean herbs, cooked in a fireplace with a lid, covered with the embers. Grigata, Dalmatian fish stew, ambroska meat stuffed cabbage, and then they have the desserts down here. Sugar, orange and lemon peels, cookies with marmalade and orange rose liqueur, macaroni, walnuts, and chocolate, custard pudding drizzled in caramel, and then cookie characterized by the citrus flavor post. So take a picture of that in case they ask, what is this one or what do you call this? All right, dining. Where are we going to send them to eat at? So dining in Dubrovnik offers both culinary quality and variety to the visitors to experience the best of dining in Dubrovnik. TVO Academy has compiled a list of restaurants ranging from top-end Michelin star to budget-friendly restaurants specifying the cuisine they serve. So cuisine-wise restaurants, Croatian and Mediterranean, the Michigan. So it's 360 Michelin star restaurant, fusion contemporary Croatian. You have the proto fish, century old, hosted royalty and celebrities, Natika, right outside the walls, quality food, amazing surroundings of the sea. Restaurant Dubrovnik, European cuisine, Adriatic leanings, and Michelin star outlet. Pejurin, housed in the luxury hotel Villa Dubrovnik. Sea offering views, recognizes Michelin plate restaurant and Mediterranean flavors and Italian cuisine. Pan-Asian cuisines. Now you have the oyster bar and sushi bar. Behind the cathedral, all seafood locally sourced, menus delightful, creative mix of Dalmatian, Japanese combination, sushi, sashimi, oysters, etc. Taknoko, Croatia overlooks city walls, Asian flavors, Mediterranean ingredients, sushi platters, and Croatian Asian dishes. Azur, reasonably priced. This is in the old town of the Rector's Palace. Yum soup, fragrant meatballs, chicken, coconut, broth, Adriatic prawn patches, garlic, chili prawns, laksa noodle curry, etc. And then India, spiced curry menu offers soups, starters, and mains from across Indian subcontinent. And then Banto, located in Lapad, first Korean restaurant and go-to place for satisfying Korean food. Visitors can indulge in Korean specialties like poke, sushi, or Korean barbecue. And then Trinity Oriental Fusion Lounge, names suggest Chinese, Japanese delicacies and guests for suave, sophisticated dining. All right, North American, South American fast food republic. American style fast food, besides meat-based burgers, also has vegan options. Coffee and fast food yummy. Budget-friendly joint located near cable car station. American food, visitors can expect big portions, delicious burgers, fries, CFAPs, bacon, coffee, smoothies, fresh juice, beer. Chihuahua Cantina Mexican. Lapid Beach offers Mexican favorites, burritos, nachos, enchiladas, quesadillas, also vegan options coupled by enticing margaritas, funky music. Bosnian cuisine, Taj Mahal, a must-visit restaurant that mixes traditional Indian concepts with Bosnian flair, caters to non-vegetarians and vegans both with their extensive menu, and it is also offers Bosnia breakfast and Turkish coffee. Top picks: creamy chicken soup with vegetables, spinach and cheese phyllo pastry, pies, shish vizitsita, veal cooked with fresh vegetables, roasted potatoes, and thick cream kaymak, charcoal grilled kebabs, and Turkish-inspired desserts. Yes, strong Turkish coffee. Have you guys ever had Turkish coffee? It's really strong but really good. All right.
No.
Bars and nightclubs. So here's TVO's Academy. Look at the top bars and after hours nightclubs. So again, I'm not going to read through all this. Maybe take a picture. The Jazz Cafe. They have the Ice Bar. Non Nina, formerly Hemingway, famed open air bar. Booza Bar. It literally translates to a hole in the wall in an old town relic accessed by going through a small, somewhat hidden opening in the city walls. Once on the other side, visitors will be greeted with a table of multiple terraces carved into the cliffs. That sounds really cool. I'll have to look that up. Booza Bar. Visitors can sample local beers, wine, cold drinks, and tea and coffee. Tucked away on the main street, this bar offers wine tasting locally, wineries, La Bodega, Rector's Palace, spread over 4 floors, blend of wine cellar, old-fashioned tavern, and coffee bar. So they sound pretty neat. The beer company, the Jazz Cafe. All right. After hours, for those visitors who love to spice up their holiday, TBO Academy shares Dubrovnik's premier night spots to live it up and have some fabulous nights out while in the city. Club Revlin, located just outside the city walls in the medieval era Revlin Tower in a premier night spot. Historic setting makes an impressive venue, features local and at times international DJs, bartenders, swinging flaming drinks, attractive dancers, and state-of-the-art light show. It warms up by midnight and the dance floor is packed till early hours of the morning. Club Vanji Beach is located on an iconic beach and is a trendy beachfront club with spectacular views of Old Town. Has resident DJs, often hosts international DJs, and visitors get the unique opportunity of dancing close to the Adriatic Sea. Great choice of drinks to go. Sky Bar Nightclub, one of the longest standing clubs, located by the Pile Gate, test question maybe, entrance to the old city, draws young crowd with its electronic music, cracking cocktails, and fast-flowing drinks at reasonable prices. Features residents, DJs, modern Balkan music, and flashy night light shows. And then Club Lazzaretti spans over 3 levels, inner terrace, and the beach has a stage for DJ decks, live acts, dance floor, and balcony area with a bar. All right. What can visitors buy from the Franciscan Pharmacy? One of the oldest European pharmacies still functional for the last 700 years. Traditional remedies for gout and arthritis, locally produced herbal creams and lotions. Anybody take that picture? I think I did.
I don't have that question. Okay. But I think like you could still buy like lotions and like facial products and stuff and some type of remedies.
All right. Looking at my song here.
It is that local produced herbal and creams.
Okay. What is the name of currently the only Indian cuisine restaurant in Dubrovnik? Bonto? Bonto?
I don't know.
Huh?
I thought you said something about Taj Mahal. I remember hearing that word.
Incredible India. Wanda says Incredible India. All
Taj
right.
Mahal was the Indian inspired by Bosnia. So I
So
think that's our only option.
Taj Mahal
Mhm.
or Incredible India. Wait.
When I Googled it, oh wait. Yeah, actually, Incredible India in Dubrovnik is the only one explicitly and consistently is identified the sole Indian restaurant within the old
so
town.
Incredible India.
So
Thank
yeah, it
you.
would be Incredible India.
So it's Incredible India. So
What
the Taj
is
Mahal to Dubrovnik.
what is Rakaja? Okay, so that's the food. So
Is
That's
that
a
that fruit-based
liqueur.
liquor?
Yeah, the fruit-based liquor.
thank you.
Of course, I knew it was about booze. Okay.
How much time is a guest allowed to spend in the unique Ono Frio ice bar?
30 minutes,
Thank you.
I think.
You think?
I'm pretty sure because you can't stay at 45, you'd freeze.
Right.
I've been to that same concept in Dubai and it was 30
Okay,
minutes.
30 minutes. Okay, we'll do that. What is Mantala?
I didn't get that one.
It's
Oh,
the
Google it.
Christmas cake, fruit cake.
Oh, nasty.
They call it Christmas cake.
Which
Got ya.
store can visitors go to buy authentic, classy Croatian kravats in Dubrovnik?
Oh, do remember that.
Store. Okay, for the classiest Croatian kravats is Boutique Croatia. Is that in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try that. Name the top Michelin starred restaurant in Dubrovnik.
360.
Yeah.
Which hotel is famous? Cave Bar. That was the.
Hotel More.
And what is Buzara?
Those are popular Croatian fish stew.
Yeah.
I think. Like I said, I've gotten at least one wrong in each one of these.
What
All right.
Never mind.
Boutique. Okay, anybody have any different questions?
What did we say about the pharmacy? Local produce, herbal creams and lotions?
Yeah.
It's just
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, guess hopefully I get an 80.
All right. Anybody need help? It looks like Wanda put the answers in there, so thank you, Wanda. 9 out of 9. Yes. Good job.
Yeah, oh my God, the last one. Yay. I actually got 9 out of 9 that time. Wow.
All right, guys, almost done. I think we just have accommodations left. Like I said, this one, usually TBO, we get done like in a half hour, maybe an hour. So this has been a long one.
There's
But
a lot of
interesting.
information.
Yeah. All right. Come on. So good job. That's again why we do this as a group, because we want to help each other and everybody's passing. Yay.
Hopefully. I'm trying to figure out how many questions are, which would equal to 80%, because I've gotten 3 wrong.
All right. So accommodations, there we go.
God.
All right. So this is again, I'm not going to read each and every one of them, but best addresses. So rich cultural heritage, beautiful medieval landmarks, abundance of nature's bounty in the form of sun, sea, and beaches, local wines, top-notch dining, and eclectic choice of hotels and apartments come together to make Dubrovnik an idyllic holiday destination for visitors to come indulge and experience the best Croatia has to offer. So in Old Town, TBO has a list of hotels and apartments located in Dubrovnik city walls, UNESCO listed Heritage Old Town. So these are hotels and apartments inside the town walls. So property name, you've got all these different ones, okay? So these are 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, okay? Chic guest house, fresh sheets. So that's a 3-star. Okay, anybody need to take a picture? Take a picture. All right. And then over here, the Pile area, which is close to Dubrovnik Old Town city walls. So the other one was in the city walls. This is near it. So 5-star is the Hilton. 3-star is Venusi Apartments. Ploce area, close to Dubrovnik Old Town city walls. So again, 5-star, Excelsior, Usula, Grand Villa, Dubrovnik, and then a 4-star Villa Ragusa, and then the 3-star Leone and Apartments. All right, Dubrovnik Riviera, 20-kilometer stretch off the coast between Dubrovnik and Kadet. It is popularly referred to as Dubrovnik Riviera. So probably beach town area, right? 5-star is the Sheraton Dubrovnik. The Hotel Malini is a 4-star, and the 3-star is Hotel Astaria. You have Solano, another destination, Admiral Grand Hotel. Lapad Bay Area. So this has a lot of opportunities. So Lapad looks like it's a very popular place. So 5-star, the ideal for families is the Sun Gardens. 4-star, and then 3-star. All right, and then the Gruz area, 4-star hotel, 3-star, Berkeley, Hotel Petka, and apartment villa. Bob and Cook area. So this looks kind of popular. They have an all-inclusive and a 3-star. Okay, so that's in Bob and Cook. Outlying islands,
Wow.
ferry ride away from Dubrovnik, to and from. Elefantiti Islands, Lapud Island. So 4-star, the Lafodia Sea Resort, Luxury Resort, Lazur, White House, Lapud. The 4-star for the Sipan Island, Hotel Bozica, and then Kalasep Island, 4-star Island Resort, and Colombia. I wonder if that's the one we missed. I don't know. When we said Kalasep didn't have cars, how can they have the hotels? They don't. But anyway, I don't know. All right, Kavet, Hotel Croatia, 5-star, 4-star, Iberia Star, Kavet, Villa Felipe, boutique hotel, and then the 3 stars by Iberia Star and Castelletto. All right. Our final exam. Let's do it. In which area is Hilton Imperial Dubrovnik located? Pile or Plosgate? Pilegate. Which 5-star hotel is considered the best for families to vacation? Sun Gardens, right? You know, I read that one. I think they highlight them. So you guys agree?
Sun Gardens, that was it for the families.
Okay. Popular.
Yeah, what was the first question you just read before that about the Hilton?
Imperial, Hilton Imperial.
Hilton Imperial.
The popular Lafodia Sea Resort is located on which island in the Elafidi Island cluster? Alyssa? Lapu.
Did you just say I'm sorry, I didn't hear your last two. Did you say the popular Lafolia Sea Resort is located on which island?
Lapud is what Wanda's saying.
Okay.
And then name the only 5-star hotel located in the UNESCO World Heritage List Old Town of Dubrovnik.
And that is the Palace, right?
Yep.
Let's have it there. Yep. The public Punic Palace. Sick Palace. I'm like, I was trying. I was about to say something. I was like, wait, that's not it.
Okay.
I wrote that one down.
I got one. I have one. I don't think you said, did you? Is Hotel Dubrovnik Palace, is it located in Lapad Bay area?
That's
True.
the one we're doing right now.
Oh, okay.
And that's true.
Sorry.
That's okay. All right. So we got Pilegate, Sun Gardens, La Poudre, The Palace, and True.
I didn't have this one. In which area is Hilton Imperial?
It's right here on top, Pile Gate. Pile Gate, just outside of Old Town.
Okay. Sorry, that was my last question.
Everybody got them?
Oh, I'm going to go back and look at yours. Okay.
And also Wanda has them in the chat also. So thank you, Wanda.
Yeah, we had some different questions, but I think we're good. Let's hope.
All right.
Yeah, they're all correct.
There we go. Now here's your certificate. Congratulations. You can view it. You can download it. You can put it on your LinkedIn if you're signed up with LinkedIn. And congratulations. So this is where you're going to share it on social media. And then, as I said, when you share it, say, guys, this is amazing. Check out these islands. There's no cars. They only have the peacocks and the bunnies jumping around. Lots of exciting stuff. Share the different restaurants, the hotels, the 5-star, the beaches and stuff. So congratulations. Thank you guys for joining me. Tomorrow we're learning about Turkey. Just so you guys know, when you get in here under featured, okay, right here, it shows, let me go back to discussion here. It shows our certificates here and the courses. So you can go in and pre-register. So tomorrow, tomorrow's still June, sorry. Over here to June, click here, right here. And it's June 28th. We're doing Turkey. It's under TBO Academy. You've already registered, so you're good to go. Click here. We're going to join here to see this one. It's going to be a short one, 20 to 30 minutes. That other one said 50 to 60. So we'll see you again, same time, same place, 10 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. Thank you guys for joining me. We always say you're in business.
Thank you, Marnie.
You're welcome. You're in business.
Yeah, thank you, Marnie. It was awesome.
You're welcome.
I probably would have been on here for like 6 hours instead of.
I'm not trying to get it right. Exactly.
This was a lot.
Yeah.
I think this is the hardest one we've done so far.
Yes, it was. That's what I was just saying. This is the hardest.
Yeah, oh my God.
So that's again why we do it together. So congratulations. We always say you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And if we don't see you at the beaches of the world, we'll see you at the bank. Join me tomorrow for Turkey. And then next month, we're starting Princess Cruise Line. So if you haven't registered for Princess Cruise Line, make sure you do it today because it takes 4 to 7 days to get approved. Okay. So what you do is you go into the travel cafe, you go into suppliers, and you can go to the supplier request form here. And you'll want the US one, okay? And then you just go down here and it's one source. Click there. Yes, I put the information in. I highly recommend you register with all these unless you have the 3-month or the 2-month you have to wait, but otherwise apply for them all. You'll have to do an individual one each time, but you may not know. You may want to book a Norwegian next week and you don't have access, right? So again, if you're new, make sure you fill this out. And again, congratulations, everybody. Hope to see you tomorrow. If not, have a fabulous weekend, okay? Bye, guys. Thank you.
So, Marty, can I ask you a quick question? Oh.
Yes, I'm here.
So the one source, do you have to complete all 3 of the cruises to then get the cruise?
No, with one source, you only have to, so like on one source, we've completed each of them, but one source, you just do the Princess, you get your free cruise. Canard, over here, you have to complete that and you get a free cruise. Canard,
so it's each one.
Pick.
Wow.
Yeah, each one has their own specific stuff, even though they're in the same complex.
Oh.
So Holland doesn't give us a free one. Seabourn doesn't give us a free one. Canard does, but they send you an email because they're the high end. So they'll send you an email and say, welcome, Susan. Here is the free cruise that you earned. If you're interested, apply for it. It's August 15th, and the fee is $200 or whatever. So it comes in an email. Princess, you get to go in and pick your cruise.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, so celebrity, we just complete it. You don't get a cruise, right? Because I didn't
Right,
get
but
any emails.
you never know what, like Norwegian, you don't get that,
Yeah.
but they sent us an invite to go spend the night on the cruise ship to help get their staff prepared. We got a balcony room, we got steak, lobster, all the drinks, anything we wanted, and didn't pay a dime.
Yes.
So that's
Was
why.
that on the Pearl? Was that when the Pearl first came out?
No, that was Joy that we did.
Oh, okay. Because I've
They
only
moved
been
it.
on, that's the only cruising I've done is NCL, and I've been
Yeah,
on
so
two of them.
they moved it like from the European side or the East Coast to the West Coast, and we got to go spend the night and help them get their staff prepared. So here's
Wow.
Sorry,
my
that was
free,
Norwegian.
huh?
I'm sorry to interrupt. That was Norwegian you were talking about?
Norwegian, yeah. So that's why I tell everybody I didn't sign up for Norwegian at that time because I'm like, I'm not gonna book cruises. And then my friend luckily did. Her husband couldn't go, so she invited me. So that's why I always tell everybody I learned from my mistake. Apply for every cruise line out there. They give invites to come do cruise inspections, lunch and learns. So just apply for them, whether you book them or not, at least you're registered and you'll get notifications of events. Margaritaville at Sea. Linda and I went on a seminar at sea. We also got BOGO, buy one, get one free. After our either the buy one, get one free, I think on both of them, we got a free cruise to come back. I mean, we went back to back for like 2 months right there. So you never
Three
know
of them.
what you get. Linda?
Three of them.
3 of them.
Sorry,
Now,
Free cruises.
we could have had 4, but we were beat.
Yeah, it was July. We couldn't use that one.
I think we had
Aw.
convention then or something, and we're
We
like,
did, yeah.
we can't leave again. But yeah, so you never know. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Take advantage. But look at these free cruises that we get through Princess. So you get one
Wow.
per person once you complete your training, and all you do is pay port taxes and fees. I went to Hawaii for 15 days. I paid $220. 7-day Mediterranean.
You live in Las Vegas, though, right? So you're close there.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's why you can pick up here the departure port. So,
Yeah.
like if you're in, Texas, I think they have some in Texas right here.
Yeah, I'm Philadelphia, so I usually fly to Miami and then go out from there.
Okay, so here, 7-day Caribbean, $145 for the first 2 people. Third and fourth guests are free. You leave out of Galveston,
Wow.
go to Mexico. Okay, so your departure port is Miami. Let's see what Miami has. So departure port. Now this is interior only. You can upgrade to a balcony or whatever, but you're going to pay more. So I just took the interior. I'm
Yeah,
like,
but it's still going to be less than what everybody else would pay.
exactly,
I mean, God, that's
And when
awesome.
you go on this
Yeah.
one, you actually get where's Miami? Am I blind? Port Canaveral, that's Orlando.
I didn't see Miami. Hold on.
They might not have one out of
I
Miami.
see Fort Lauderdale. Yeah.
So
Wait, they're not going out of there. New York.
Yeah,
New
they
York's
change
tough. See,
all the time.
I'd rather fly to Miami than go to New York.
yeah, they change a lot.
It's so crazy busy there.
Yeah, here's Canada, New England, Australia, out of New York. They look at
Ooh,
this.
look at that.
Days.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Like, say if you're in Virginia, what will be my nearest port? I've been curious to know.
I don't know. Virginia, you said probably.
Yeah,
Yeah. See,
Florida,
what I
huh?
do is
I'd say
Google.
Florida too. Yeah.
Okay.
Where is the closest port to Virginia for a cruise?
I mean, she can either go up or down.
Yeah.
New York.
Same with me. I'm in Philadelphia, right outside of Philadelphia.
Yeah, I
So-
was there. I should have stayed.
No, you're not liking Virginia?
Oh no, hell no.
I don't think I'd want to live in Virginia either.
Oh, you won't.
They also
do
I feel
have,
like you won't.
like
Well,
New
you're
Orleans.
back home.
So anyway, just wanted to kind of show you this. So, it's amazing. So I'm going to start this training again. So if you haven't taken your cruise or done your training, you can start with me next Friday. We're going to start.
Oh,
It's
cool.
4th of July, so people may be busy, but I will record it.
That's cool. I'm excited. Yeah, I like doing them together. It's so
Yeah.
like there's so much things we have to train on, and this is just such a I love this. Thank you
Easy.
so much.
Yep, easy going.
Me too.
I think
Thank
we
you,
get to
Marnie.
interact with other people. Well, everything else is like, all right, write all your questions down, and then you forget what your questions were about because you're doing so much training.
Yep, and that's what I like about it too, because you get to meet the other agents. You get to, and the thing I like about it also is when you're doing these trainings, Kim may have been in, Dubrovnik, and she can share firsthand, we were talking, we did one training,
Yeah, that'd be great.
really cool. There was a thing about a mailbox in the, overlooking the ocean, and a chair there, and people would just go and leave like, letters to their loved ones or their deceased or whatever, leave them in the mailbox. And then, it's just a beautiful, I got chills, just a beautiful setting, to just, share your dreams, your hope, whatever, your thoughts. And then they take it out each month, and then put it in the library in books so people can kind of read. And somebody was on our training and they had seen that. And I'm like, that's so cool. So just because of that, I want to go, and I forgot.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But
A lot
yeah.
of people don't know about Peru. I think you just already did Peru, right? Didn't you
Yeah,
just do
Peru we just did last week. It's absolutely
I
amazing.
didn't.
It's here on my YouTube.
I've been to Peru.
Yeah, right here.
Um,
So you can watch
when
it
you
or
go
go
up
in it.
to,
Yeah, so it was
sorry,
an
I'm
over
talking
20
over you. My
minutes.
apologies. Over 20 minutes. Wow.
All right.
So
good
when you go to
morning.
Machu Picchu, I don't know if you guys talked about this.
Yeah, we went through it, and they have the different things, and how you can take the train and stuff, and
Yeah, and you can get your passport when you get up to Machu Picchu. If you bring your passport, they'll put a stamp in it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. So I
Wonderful.
didn't know if now you're talking about it. I'm like, that was pretty cool. I had my stamp put in.
Did you take the 4 full days to get there, or did you just take the
It
short
was an interesting. We flew into Lima, then from Lima we then flew into God, I can't remember the name of the city. I should have been on your thing last week. The little town there where we had to stay for 4 days to adjust to the climate. Every night I'd wake up at 3 a.m. with my heart pounding because of the altitude difference.
Right.
It's crazy to adjust. And then we took a car service to the train. It was a journey just to get to Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
And then the train to Machu Picchu, and then did that whole cycle back. But Cusco, that's where we went to. We went from Lima to Cusco, which Cusco was a very interesting, scared to eat. On the way home, I wound up having food poisoning. They kept trying to kick me out of the bathroom.
Oh,
Because I tried something on the street. It's so stupid. I was like, oh, this is great. Let me just try something local. Yeah, regret that.
Don't get street food.
Just tip, don't do that. And when they say don't drink the water, don't. But it was a wonderful experience. Don't get me wrong. I'll go have food poisoning again to do it.
How funny. So,
Yeah.
all right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you tomorrow for Turkey. Otherwise, next week for Princess, or
Yeah.
on Saturday, I think we're doing Aruba. So I don't know which we're doing first, but we'll see you then. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Marnie.
All
Have
right,
a great
thank
weekend.
you. You too. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.